Well, yes, he is here in the fortress. Oliver Crumes, Madonna's treasured dancer from the historic Blond Ambition tour and the Truth or Dare documentary. Finally, Oliver opens up about his intimate relationship with Madonna, how he and Warren Beatty didn't get along, and how he was treated poorly by some of his fellow dancers because of his special connection to Madonna. Have a good listen to this one. You will genuinely understand why Madonna gravitated towards this unique light. Oliver is truly a gentle soul with an undeniable magnetic glow. He is fragility, kindness, and talent, all in one special wrapping. With Madonna's uncanny knack for seeing into the heart of those around her, there is really very little wonder why she chose Oliver as a close companion. He is the real deal, a beautiful man. And Mr. Crumes, if you do ever decide to tell your story in a little more detail, I'm right here for you. Please enjoy this conversation with one of the brightest characters in Madonna's career. Coming to you from the mountain fortress of pop culture. You're listening to Time to Talk.
You don't think I'm overexposed, do you?
Mr. Oliver Sidney Crumes III, welcome to the Time to Talk show.
How are you doing?
That is a hell of a name, Oliver Crumes III.
Oliver Sidney Crumes III.
Yeah. Is there some really proud family heritage wrapped up in that name?
Yes. My great-great-grandfather, he's the one that started the name, and he passed away last April of COVID. So may he rest in peace. So no, it's just me and my dad. So my dad is junior and I'm a third.
Wow, but, so your dad is Oliver Crumes as well?
Oliver Sidney Crumes Jr. Yes.
That's some proud heritage right there. Amazing stuff. Yeah.
The family is proud of me.
Before we go any further, Oliver, you're officially in our fortress of pop culture here. So I want to introduce you to, we have a baby dragon here, and his name is Igor. Can I introduce you to Igor?
To Igor? Baby dragon? Sure.
Yeah, here he is. He's sitting on his perch. He always watches when we do the podcasts.
Okay.
Yeah. He's met a few of your colleagues. He's met Carlton and Kevin.
Carlton and Kevin? Yes.
He liked both of them. You know what, though? Igor, he's a particular fan of the Dick Tracy segment of Blond Ambition.
Oh, Lord have mercy. The yellow jacket and the underwear.
Yeah. You know what? Every time that comes on, he flaps his wings when you open your yellow coats. That's what he does.
Oh, wow. Okay. I wish my wife could hear this, but oh, my God.
He's a dragon with great taste.
Okay.
Oliver, you were 19 when you were selected to join this amazing production, the Blond Ambition tour. And I have to say, it was a tour it set the benchmark for all pop tours thereafter. It really did. That is not an exaggeration.
Yes.
So I'm curious, how does a 19-year-old from New Orleans take it all in? All the global travel, the stadiums and the mammoth crowds. How does he take it all in at 19?
With a cup of tea. No, I'm just joking. No, it was it was exciting. It was stuff that I've never seen before. I mean, everything was all new to me, you know.
But you'd had some lead up to all of this, right? Because you were, as I understand it, correct me anywhere I'm wrong here, you were inspired originally by Michael Jackson. He was your hero. And then at around 15, you started taking steps. 15 years old, you started taking steps into a hip-hop career.
Yes, yeah, at the age of 15, I saw the Thriller video, and we learned the Michael Jackson choreography from Thriller, which of course was choreographed by Michael Peters. May he rest in peace. And we learned it, and for some reason I was like, I like dancing. And when I moved to LA in '85, went to junior high out there and heard about all these little dance competitions that they had at hotels at like the Hilton and at these special clubs that was for 18 and under. And that's where a lot of dancers have come from. That dance with probably around Janet Jackson, Prince. The list can go on. So yeah.
Do you know,
Yeah.
a lot of us at that age were doing the Thriller choreography in our living rooms, but not many of us had the talent to do what you did, though. You must have been damn good at it. And it was you and your brother. Is it Lance? Is that right?
Yes, Lance Crumes.
Yeah. So you're learning this choreography together. I would love to have seen these two young guys doing it, because most people were doing it really badly, but I'm sure you guys were doing it really well.
Well, until I'm not going to lie, until I think it was 5-6 years ago, I was doing Thriller the wrong way, the opposite way.
Oh no!
I was doing it backwards.
What do you mean? You're going to the left instead of the right, or the right instead of the left?
Because I watched the video. When you're watching a video, you don't have a mirror. You're watching a video, so you're doing it in the. You're watching a video. You're doing it reverse, and I didn't know it.
Oh, I'm sure Michael would have forgiven you.
Oh yeah, but yeah, I finally changed it, but it was hard to do like the pelvic like walk with it, and going instead of going to the left, I had to go to the right.
Wow.
Stuff like that. And so.
Hey, can I say, like, in all seriousness, I watched something like Thriller, and because he makes it look so effortless, for someone like me, not a dancer, you try to do it, and you can do it to some degree. It looks marginally like the original. When you do it, does it come very naturally, or was that choreography hard for you to pick up? Did it take a bit of practice? I'm curious to know if an elite dancer like yourself, can you pick something like that up real quick?
It really wasn't so hard, because I remember learning, favorite videos. I learned Beat It, and Beat It is hard.
Yeah.
And I'm talking, not Beat It. I'm bad. I'm bad. Sorry. I'm bad video, because they did all that, and all the sound effects and all that movie, and it was very jazzy. And I never took a dance class in my life. So when I did Beat It, like I said, Beat It was the first video I learned.
Mm-hmm.
And learning that was very, very hard. So Thriller was very easy to learn. It's just 1-2 step. It wasn't that much, to do, because every move you did to the right, you did it to the left. Make sense?
It does. And look, I talked to quite a few dancers, and they all give similar answers to you, which is, no, it's actually, that was choreography, which to me seems complicated, is often described as, no, that's a fairly simple one. This one's a hard one. But I wouldn't know the difference. I honestly.
Yeah, but you're not a dancer. Yeah. Exactly. But the thing is, I didn't think I was a dancer. I just was dancing. It's not like my parents have a dance background.
I'll tell you though, Oliver, I don't want to fan out too much, but I've watched the Blond Ambition tour. I never saw it in person. It didn't come to Australia, but I've watched it on TV, on every format, on Laserdisc, on VHS, on digital. Yeah. And I've got to say, well, back in the day, it came out on this Japanese version. Came out on.
Oh, because I still have my Laserdisc. I'm like, can you send it to me?
Oh, also, you've still got a player for it?
Oh, I still have my Laserdisc. Yes,
get out. Who owns that?
Yes, I have I have Outbreak with Dustin Hoffman. I have um, Santa Claus with what's his name? I forgot his name, but oh
I
my
don't
god,
know.
I got about 8 or 9 laser discs.
They're very
I got
satisfying. The discs
yeah,
are actually really lovely. Yeah.
yeah. I also got Pulp Fiction, which is my favorite movie of all time. I got Pulp
Oh,
Fiction
yes.
on Laserdisc, Blu-ray, DVD, VHS.
Oh, you're a movie aficionado, aren't you?
Oh,
You love the
I love
movies.
movies. Yeah. Speaking of that, I want to go see. I got to go see F9.
I would be remiss if I didn't ask you. Did you love John Travolta's dance with Uma
Oh my
Thurman?
God! Yeah, I was. Speaking of that, um, I was at the studio in Santa Monica
Yeah.
before, and this was in 90. What was it? 93. Because I moved to Vegas in 94, and Pulp Fiction I think came out in 94, 95.
Yeah.
If I'm not sure. I was at a studio where John Travolta, he was rehearsing, but I didn't know what he was rehearsing for. But it was for that because that music was playing. He was
What?
rehearsing in his other studio.
You saw him
In
rehearsing
the
that dance?
studio. I saw him rehearsing at the studio that I was at. He was in another room rehearsing
Oh,
that,
wow.
and but I don't remember. I knew it was John Travolta, but I don't remember if it was Uma Thurman that was with him though. He might have
Hey,
been rehearsing with a girl.
Oliver,
And,
I've got to, if you saw him rehearsing it, unless you saw it in the context of the movie, you must have thought he was losing his marbles because he's got a bit of the Batman, he's got a bit of every
oh
type
yeah,
of.
well,
It's
it's the
it's quite a
best.
strange dance if you didn't see it in the movie.
It was no, it was the best because I'm sorry, I love John Travolta, but and that movie actually brought him back.
Oh, it did.
If it wasn't for Quentin Tarantino putting him in that movie, he wouldn't be who he is right now. I mean, he'd still be big, but he wouldn't be as big. Him and Samuel Jackson. Oh God.
His whole scene about the McDonald's burger,
Oh God, yes, a quarter pounder was
a royale with
a
cheese.
royale with cheese. Sorry about that.
Oh
I
god!
used to I used to know it all by I used to know it by heart. Actually, I used to say it all the time.
Can I tell you? You can report me for child abuse if you want, but if my children are doing something mildly wrong, I'll go. I'm going to strike you down with a
That was great.
terrible vengeance.
Yes, with great vengeance. And oh my God, you're bringing it back. Oh my God.
Oh, it's a good movie. You and I should just sit down and watch that together instead of
Oh
doing
my
the
God,
podcast.
dude.
It's pretty
Yes,
satisfying, isn't it?
yes.
So listen, I want to take us back to the audition for Blonde Ambition. But here's the thing, Oliver. I know that you've been asked about this moment probably 1,000 times. So I want to try something a little bit different. Is that okay with you?
Okay.
Okay, don't be scared. Okay, so I'm going to get you to close your eyes and take a
Do I-
really, really long breath so that we can all hear it and know that you're breathing in, your eyes are closed. Okay, do that
Okay,
for me.
okay. I won't lie. I'm gonna close my eyes and okay, fine.
Okay, good man. Good man.
I just coughed.
Oh my goodness! Yeah.
No, it's
Let
because of
it
my
all out.
allergies,
Yeah, let it
and
out.
I'm
Let it
always known for coughing anyway. So, because I guess when I get hyped up, I cough. So,
It's okay.
anyway,
All right.
okay,
So keep those eyes closed, and on the count of
okay,
three, right? When you hear me count to three, we're going to arrive back at your audition. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. So Oliver, you're a teenager, and you're about to put all your skills to the test. You've been told that you'll never make it as a dancer, but now here you are. You're at the audition for a show that could change your life.
hmm
I want you to tell us what can you see? What's around you?
I'm in the line with my brother,
Wow.
waiting several hours to
Oh,
go in the room just to go see Madonna. Not,
this is a long queue.
yeah. It's just like, hey, she's gonna be there. Let's go meet her.
What can you hear? What's going on around you in this audition?
Oh, just looking at the different dancers, the different looks. You could see who is like technical, who's a professional,
Wow.
what they're wearing, all the way the table is set up, her sitting behind the table with uh, uh, Donna, and I think Nikki.
So you can see Madonna in the room.
Mm-hmm. We're all waiting around on the wall while each group goes up.
And Oliver, as you're watching all these other people, like I can't imagine anything more intimidating because when I go for a job interview, you go in one by one, you don't see your competition. What are you thinking? Is it intimidating to look at all these other dancers?
Yeah, you know what? Me and my brother, we weren't intimidated when we were there. It's just we was going to learn choreography. I mean, of course, I was already teaching um, hip hop in LA. Of course, I gotta plug this in. I was the first hip hop teacher to teach hip hop in LA back in '89,
Yeah.
maybe '88, but more '89. I was the first one to do it, so I had to make up my own choreography, of course, and um, was doing that for a while. And of course, when I was in the dance competitions of that trendy era, of course, I was helping to choreograph stuff too. So when we did the audition for the Blond Ambition tour, the hip hop part, of course, they were doing the Roger Rabbit and Running Man. Like I can't do that, but then they had some voguing in it, which I first learned, um, and it wasn't too technical. Obviously, I got the job, so.
You've already described Madonna's sitting there, possibly with a couple of other people there.
Yeah.
Do you remember as you're dancing, are you trying to make eye contact with her, or are you just trying to concentrate on your moves?
Oh yeah.
What's happening?
Trying to make eye contact, trying to see what she's doing. I mean, of course, trying to do the choreography, but she got up at one point when she would say to me, and she knew my name, like automatically knew my name. She was saying Oliver, and she would say, Lance, y'all can do it. Come on, get it. You do this. You can get this.
Wow.
I mean, she was saying other dancers' names, I think, but I definitely remember her saying to me and Lance, y'all can get this. Come on, do it harder, like that. So, and that was kind of cool. So, I mean, that we were already set, so we were cool with the audition about her talking to us. So, and she was very nice and very polite and
encouraging by the sound of it. Yeah.
She was very encouraging. Yeah.
So, because I counted you into that moment, I have to count you back out. That's just the way we do it. So, I'm going to close your eyes again, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to bring you back. Okay, Oliver? That's the magic, right?
That's the magic.
1, 2, 3. You doing okay?
Okay, I'm glad my wife is not looking at me right now. Maybe you got me closing my eyes over here.
This is a podcast that she's never seen before. Baby Eagle, by the way.
He has a baby eagle or a dragon sitting next to him.
Yeah, he's flapping now. He's proud of you. Baby Eagle's proud of you.
Baby Eagle is proud of me right now.
Hey,
okay.
I gotta say, Oliver, there was this fairly hilarious moment in Truth or Dare, right? It's you and Madonna are comparing notes on a dance move. It's only a little moment. Most people wouldn't think of this, but I love it. You're trying to make a decision about a particular dance move, I think. And Madonna suggests that you should go and take a poll. And you react to this.
God.
You have this really, really funny and confused look on your face, and you go, take a poll? And suddenly, Madonna realizes, and you can tell she's really, really chuffed with herself. She goes, oh, Oliver doesn't know what type of poll I mean. And she goes, yeah. She realizes you're thinking of the wrong type of poll. And she goes, yeah, and ram it up your ass.
Yeah.
I mean, she had a wicked sense of humor, didn't she, this woman?
She did. But, at the time when that happened, it didn't dawn on me until later, like when I watched it with friends and this and that. Not like at the premiere, but like later on, like, and, of course people would make a joke about it to me, but yeah, whatever. It's like,
it's like a home video, though. When you watch it with friends, do you just cover your face or do you laugh or what?
I laugh because they laugh.
Yeah. It's funny.
Yeah. Oh,
and
it's funny.
It's not too mean either. It's just like a mix-up over a word. That's all.
Yeah, so the way I told her, well, look, this is a poll or whatever I said.
Yeah.
Take a poll. I'm like, that's a poll. And yeah.
I I love the mix up. It very much amuses me, but I particularly love it because she's such a smart woman. I love it when she realizes that you're confused. She's very quick. Does she have a quick sense of humor?
Yes, very quick, very quick. Yes, like for instance, in Truth or Dare, where she's talking to the director, or she's talking to her manager. What's his name?
Freddie.
Freddie. Yes, Freddie. What is it? Freddie. What's the last
The
name?
man.
Freddie the man. Yes.
Mm.
And she's mad when she comes off the stage, and she's like, the mics were out, this and that, whatever. And the director says something like, "Well, we didn't know that, it was out." And then she turned around. She was like, "No, you knew it was out." Like, I mean, she claps back that quick on things. Like, even though there's a whole bunch of stuff that's going on in her head, she's worried about her voice, probably worried about the dancers, looking at the staging, looking at the lights while she's on stage and performing live in front of thousands of people. She can catch, not catch, but you can see everything that's happening. And when she gets off the stage, she knows what her notes are. Like, she's doing her notes in her head while she's on stage.
I love that you've just described that, because the one thing a documentary can never capture, because it's so easy, Oliver, to go, oh, she's a bitch, she's rude, she's this. But what we don't ever get is, and as someone who's in a leadership position myself, is the sense of responsibility you've got on your own shoulders the whole time. She's carrying this production. She needs it to be right.
Yeah.
So she doesn't have time, frankly, to be politically correct. And she just needs to get straight to the nub of whatever the problem is.
None of us knew the way this whole show was staged. I mean, from the beginning of us walking out as construction workers, and the stage was flat, and all of a sudden it just comes up and it turns into this whole new world, and you got the story. It went from that. It went from that, from express yourself into open your heart, and just the way everything was staged, it was very theatrical. I mean, the cross, for Papa Don't Preach, it didn't offend anybody. Nobody got mad. It wasn't too much. The only thing, I still don't have a problem with it, but of course in Canada they did, when they did like a Virgin. Of course, the cone things that Lewis and Jose wore, and how sexual it was, and her looking like she's like possessed by a demon at one point at the end.
She was having a good time.
It was telling a story. And the thing is, and here's the thing, it's not like she came up. I don't think she came up with that. I wasn't in the audition when not the audition, but the rehearsal for that. But I honestly think that was all Vince Patterson's ideas.
Vince Patterson, of course, for people listening, was the
choreographer and director. Yeah.
And an amazing collaboration. You can see the two of them. You can see their work on the stage, like a true collaboration. And the whole show, like, I know everyone takes something different from Blonde Ambition, but for me, I took very much, and it was very different at the time. She flipped the gender roles, right? So it was always the woman or the women in control. They were running the show. Yeah. And the men were subservient to the women. And that is the opening you've described. That is like a virgin number. That is, even in the religious context, like you could say there's a power imbalance. She flipped the power balance between men and women throughout that show. And I really took that away and went, ooh.
That's a good way to put it. Wow. I never thought of that. Oh, wow.
I really... Again, I think today that's quite common. That women like Nicki Minaj, Doja Cat, they're all doing it, and it's fairly common.
God,
back then, it was quite fascinating to walk out of a show and go, "My God, a woman not only like the boss, but seriously dominating her position. Like, amazing stuff. You guys walking on in those overalls, you were absolutely subservient to her."
Yeah, we were. That's a good way to put it. Never thought about it that way. And all these, I mean, like you look at all these shows and all these concerts, they all took something from the Blond Ambition tour.
Oh, yes.
They really
Absolutely.
did, and they really did. They really did. And like I was trying to say in the beginning, that's how this conversation started. We didn't. I honestly don't think we had no idea that it was that much of an impact. That show. Come on now.
Amazing.
And people want to listen to us talk about it. Are
Yes.
they asking? Are they asking about the girly show? Are they asking about any of her other kinds of the sticky and sweat? No. Are they talking about her Super Bowl performance? No. They're not talking about none of that. They're talking
This
about
is the one.
either Truth or Dare or either the Blonde Ambition. And now, of course, people talk about Strike a Pose.
Sometimes amateurs know best, and a lack of professionalism is all you'll hear on the Time to Talk show. Join Tim and his panel of guests as they wade their way through a range of news, music, and pop culture treats. Time to Talk, the show hosted by amateurs for unprofessional listeners.
Like you say, often the dancers are just almost like a garnish to the performance. You guys became stars in your own right. I've got to ask you, the Blonde Ambition, it was famously camp and flamboyant in some places. And I've got to say, I've always been interested in this. It seems perfectly cast for each one of the songs. For example, if you take Cherish, right? You see
Cherish.
three dancers, they become mermen. And it was almost very, very feminine in a way, the role that they were casting. So my question to you is, was it very deliberate that you were not involved in some of those tracks or some of those numbers?
I think I'm not sure, but I know for sure that Madonna and Vince was like, yeah, Oliver does not need to be in this. No. You cannot. I can't see. It was bad. It was hard enough to wear the even though I wind up loving it, it was hard enough. I mean, hard. I mean, Madonna begged me to wear that sequin shirt for Open Your Heart.
One. Yep.
It was hard because that was hard. First of all, after doing the opening number with everybody, with all the dancers, I had to rush off stage and put that on. And to put that on, your fingers got stuck because it was a net shirt. And then like the glitter on it would get all over the pants. I had to make sure I looked all nice and neat, and it was a lot of work. And it was just tight, and I'm so used to bagging clothes. So,
and if it was for a show like Blonde Ambition, it fit right in that gold shirt. Can you imagine though? Can you even imagine you putting on the merman tail?
No. I was about to get to that. No, the mermaid thing. No. I mean, it was kind of hard to do the Dick Tracy too. The Dick Tracy wasn't, but then I wind up, because of the costume. I mean, I felt so naked.
Carlton talked about in the tours that he did that he had basically, quite a lot of body pride. He didn't care how skimpy the costumes were. But for you, it would be fair to say that the skimpier the costume, the more uncomfortable you felt. That would be true, wouldn't it?
Yes, that is true. Yes, of course. Well, you got to think. Even though I got over my homophobic attitude of feelings, I just wasn't used to wearing tight clothes or something tight, especially on stage in front of a whole bunch of people. So,
what were you wearing for the Dick Tracy one under that jacket?
We had on black. It wasn't underwear, but they were black. They weren't Speedos, but they were like, I don't know. I know they were satin. They were like made out of satin. And Jean Paul Gaultier is the one that did the costume. Right? Oh yeah. So So I'm sure the underwear was at least $400 a piece.
Right. So would it be fair to say they left very little to the imagination?
Oh no, they weren't. It's not like it was a G-string. It was a full-on it was like wearing daddy underwear or grown men underwear. So,
but like you say, if most of us are wearing that, it's behind closed doors, not on stage in front of thousands of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I got used. Obviously, I got used to it. Um, I got used to everything that we had on, so and that we wore. I mean, for well, I mean, you got to remember, Japan was the first place we went to, and our first show, this was one thing was hard to wear too. Our Vogue outfits. The
I had
Vogue
to,
outfit is it's just full on. It's like a leotard almost.
yeah.
But we had to wear that throughout the whole show. Our first show in Japan.
Hey, Oliver, can you help
Yes.
me understand this with costumes that are skimpy, right? There are lots of different reasons why people might not feel comfortable in that. For some people, it's what the costume represents. I'm curious to know what specifically made you uncomfortable about the tight clothing. Was it body image? Was it the fact that people might think that you were wearing gay clothes?
Oh no,
What's
I
going
just
on?
felt no, I felt girly. It's sometimes
Girly.
and especially it's like a leotard for Vogue. You got to
Yeah.
think that because in the video we're wearing suits. The open your heart top, the sequence. I mean, it did look kind of girlish, but I didn't feel like not in a gay. There was never a point that I thought, oh, this looks gay. No,
Okay.
even back then, yeah, I never thought that. It's
It
just
was
I
it
felt
was the
girly, and
feminization. Do you know?
yeah,
Sorry to interrupt, but to go full circle, the blonde. I said to you that I took away from the Blonde Ambition tour that she was flipping power dynamics. So you feeling effeminate in some of that clothing is really on point. If that was one of the messages of the show,
yeah.
by your own acknowledgement, our young 19-year-old Oliver was homophobic. How homophobic was that young Oliver? Like, are we talking, were you verbally homophobic? Were you
Oh no,
gay
I never
bashing? Or,
cursed. No, no, no. Let's get that straight. I never like cursed someone up and like or walked up to two guys or two girls and go you fag or I would no never nothing like that.
right.
Never verb. Yeah, I never like got into a fight or anything like that. No, at all. I back then I did. I just had a problem um with two men kissing and this and that. This, of course, this was before I started the tour.
Yeah.
I just never grew up. I never grew up around that because I mean, y'all, everybody knows that I came from. I was born in New Orleans, but the first time I saw two people kiss, it was Gabriel, may he rest in peace, and his other half, and it was on the set of the Vogue video. And the funny thing is, I invited my brother down that I just so happened to invite my brother down that day to come to the video shoot, and we both saw it, and we was like, "What the hell?" And that was it. But it was never there was never any like violent in
No.
my body or in my brain to say, "Oh, I'm gonna f you up because you're not like me," or I never looked at them as um, you know as doing wrong.
You've been on this incredible journey, and now, of course, you're embraced by the LGBT community. You're actually you're an advocate for that community. So let's make that straight. But I'm really curious, what in your learning about this subject, where does homophobia even come from in the first place? Do you think,
I,
Oliver? Like,
I, to be honest with you, I don't know. I guess they just put a title on the fact that I was homophobic because of the fact that I was uncomfortable.
yeah,
Yeah.
you were. I mean, it shows in the documentary. You get up and walk away. As if anyone implies that you're gay, you get quite touchy about the subject. Like, so
Well,
you were, and that's being
also
19.
because I was the only straight guy on the tour, so of course it's
Yeah,
going to make me uncomfortable.
yeah,
And then if anybody knows the movie Truth or Dare, everybody saw how Lewis and Jose was and Slam.
out there, right? Out there.
They were vultures.
Yeah.
So you got to just think a kid coming from the South, New Orleans, and goes to LA. He went to Fairfax High. I mean, I didn't see too many gays at school, or I mean, I'm sure they were there, but I just never was around it. But
Mm.
then all of a sudden, at the age of 19, I get introduced to people that I'm going to be dancing with that just so happen to be gay, you know?
To be fair to you, at 19, and this comes across in the documentary, I'm curious to know about your lived experience, though. It does seem like you described them as vultures just there. And do you think that they felt your fear and then capitalized on that and went, look, he's scared, so let's really make this an issue for him? Did that happen?
No, because only at a certain point they realize that I'm not scared of them or I'm not uncomfortable anymore. Because I mean, in the beginning, I was very uncomfortable. I was uncomfortable. Not to change. No, here's the thing: not to change in front of them, or if we was because we had to work out. When we was rehearsing for the tour, we had to go to Gold's Gym in Santa Monica, and it was literally nothing but gays inside. I don't think there was one straight. I think I was the only straight guy in there. I mean, we had to take showers and this and that, and I never felt uncomfortable with that because, hello, when you went to school, you know, you had to take showers and, you know, this and that. So
there were times where you were actually naked around this group of dancers?
Well, especially if we're changing clothes and, you know, yeah, of course.
Do you reckon any of them had a crush on you, Oliver?
I had a crush. I don't think, no, none of them. No, they love my brother.
Oh.
They love my brother Lance. And thank the Lord, because that's all he talked about. They love Lance. F that.
Wow.
That. I'm like, really? Y'all like Lance? But I was okay with it. I was like, okay.
Distracted attention from you, right?
Whenever Lance came around, there was like, oh, look at it. And you could just hear Lewis and Carlton and Slam going, look at that piece. That's all I can remember is look at that piece. That was their famous. That was their famous words, dude. Look at that piece right there.
Oh man!
And they get to the point where they would push me out of the way. Oliver, get out of the way, dude. Where's your brother?
How did Lance cope with that?
Oh, Lance thought it was funny, but that's the thing. In the Vogue video, we started kissing. We were uncomfortable. We both went, ugh, like what the hell, and looked at each other. But then after that, it was like, as time went on, I got to learn. I always say this in my interviews. I got to learn why they became gay and what's their history and how they got to this point of the way they live their lives and this and that. I do thank Madonna for having me be on this tour because I've learned a lot. I learned a lot about the gay community. I learned a lot. I learned a lot about it, and I respect everything. And it was just my ignorance, me being ignorant as a young man, being homophobic, not giving them a chance to explain themselves, they didn't have to explain themselves because that's who they are, but just opening my eyes up to their world. That makes sense.
Look, and can I just say to you, mate, like honestly, you are people like yourself who are willing to put up their hand and talk about their learning and their growth is so powerful. But can I just ask, I have to go back to something you said. You learnt about how they became gay. You know, people don't become gay, don't you?
No, not become. That's why I tried to reword it. Right. Not become. Yes, yes. Of course, I know that. Yeah.
That's cool. Wow, that's very hilarious. Poor old Lance, hey? And I'm glad he took it with a good sense of humor. That's awesome.
Good grain of salt. Yes.
Yeah.
It was hilarious. In Strike a Pose, when you see the scene where we're finally getting to see each other for the first time, of course, the first thing out of their mouths is, how's Lance? I'm like, really, dude?
Wow.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Amazing.
It's so funny.
Sometimes amateurs know best, and the lack of professionalism is all you'll hear on the Time to Talk show. Join Tim and his panel of guests as they wade their way through a range of news, music, and pop culture treats. Time to Talk the show hosted by amateurs for unprofessional listeners.
Let me redirect us back to the stage for a moment here. Here's the thing. This is what I'm thinking. Even before Madonna emerges onto that stage for that epic opening, I've always been curious to know, you're on there first, you and the other dancers. Can you see the crowd? Is it just a blur?
I'll
Can
give you a
see
picture right
faces?
now. The best moment in that long run of a tour was when we was at Wembley Stadium, because it was daylight. And it was one of the first times it wasn't nighttime when the concert started. And I imagine, now I'm about to make you picture something. Imagine your head down and you're looking at the ground, but you, of course, barely anybody can see you because you're way in the back and you're walking under the bridge thing that's coming up. And you look to the right of you and you see a swarm of people that look like ants, and it's like a wave.
Wow.
Well, we coming around, and then right when the music starts, that doom, 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 and we look up because our heads are down, and there they are. It's a whole, but I mean, I didn't get stage fright, because if I had got stage fright, I would have probably left. I had to seriously block out the people in the audience so I will not mess up the choreography, which I didn't. But it was that many people on that in the audience. It literally scared me.
Wow.
Because I mean, we've seen. Of course, we've been prior to Wimbledon Stadium. We already performed a whole bunch of places. I mean, Japan was big. I mean, that was in the stadium too, but Wembley is the biggest stadium. I mean, it holds 170-something thousand, and probably even more now. But to see that, oh my God, it was mind blowing. Oh God, when we got to the Vogue song, and I had to come out and do my routine. Everybody in the audience knew my part.
Wow.
They were doing the routine with me when I was doing it with Madonna. Imagine seeing that. Imagine seeing something that you choreographed and they're doing it in the audience.
Just incredible. And a lot of fans believe that opening is the best tour opening ever, hands down.
Our opening? Yes. You've never seen an opening like that. You always see, you know what you always see in a concert? Somebody coming up from the ceiling. Now, don't get me wrong. There's one person that I would love to see in concert, but I've only seen her on TV, and that's Pink.
Yes.
Pink throws down. Pink takes it to another level. But
inspired by Madonna, though, too. She openly acknowledges she's inspired by Madonna.
By Madonna, I'm sure she is. But the thing is, like you said, our opening has to be the best opening ever for an opener for a concert, because when you went to the concert, all you saw was two men on the side, which was a scrim, with their hands look like they're on a wall, and then you don't even see the band, nothing, and then that stage just turns into a construction site.
Yeah,
I mean, come on, with stairs in the middle, not little stairs. I mean, there's about 20, and it went high up.
Absolutely. Did you enjoy the choreography for that particular opening? Just, you go from this sort of slave-like walk, and like you say, when the thump pumps in, and then you're just it's so strong and meaningful.
It's powerful, meaningful and powerful,
but then it's not only that. You're moving, like she uses for this opening, the entire stage, the whole left wing, the whole right wing, then the center, the stage. There's height, there's everything. But then when you all come in unison at the end, tell me about doing that choreography. Did it feel satisfying? It feels like such a satisfying piece of choreography.
Yeah, it was like, but when we danced it, you had to act like you was taking like a hammer and you're hitting the rocks. Everything had to be like really, really strong,
Yes.
to the point where you're sweating for real, not fake sweat. You're actually you're doing it to the point where your muscles are hurting. Like when you get off the stage, you're gonna be hurting. That's how hard and powerful I thought it was, and I think that's the way we all felt. You know,
And then for you, track number 2 goes into Open Your Heart. And
open
it's
your heart,
just,
which had to leave early.
yeah, so you leave from track 1 early to do your, getting into your gay gold top.
You know what? Kiss my ass. Really?
Sorry, I had
Wow.
it was a cheap
Okay.
shot. I had to take it.
Really? You're gonna throw that in my face? I didn't. And what did you just call it? What did you say? My what top?
Your gay gold top.
See, I never once said it was a gay top. So y'all, anybody listening, I did not call it. I said it felt girly. No gayness. There was no gayness happening.
I had a
Stop
feeling
it.
that might get a reaction. I'm sorry.
That's good. You got me.
Just a
That's
test
good.
for you, Oliver.
That's good.
But then you go from this like smashing rocks choreography where your body's so tense and strong, and then you do this most elegant Open Your Heart. It is your moment. And also, I don't know if you've thought about this, but who is the character? Who is the character in that track too as well? Is it Madonna's imagination or what? So tell us about Open
Honestly,
Your Heart.
honestly, every time somebody asks me about Open Your Heart, I feel a different reaction. Like when you said that, who's the character?
Yeah.
I don't, especially when I was on top. Let's just start off when on the top.
Yeah.
I just felt like I was at a club.
Yeah.
That's every single time when I'm on the top, I felt like I was on a club. And if you watched every concert, I did almost the same moves, but I would always switch it up and put something else in it, just to have fun. But when I'm coming down the stairs and doing all the acting part, that I kept that the same. I feel so differently about it every time somebody asks me that. Like I said, I mean,
Well, at the top, you're moving from left to right. There's a hat too, I think, and you're just freestyling. It seems, and
yeah, freestyling, yeah.
and not to mention, I'm not diminishing your work, but the music too. That like there's such good track for you to actually freestyle too in the first
Yeah,
place.
but that's another thing. I mean, Open Your Heart is not hip hop music. I actually took my hip hop moves that I know and put it to a song that is not hip hop. So the way Vince Patterson helped me do the choreography going down the stairs, and the way it was all put together was really, really nice. I mean, I always tell people, like if somebody wants to watch it on YouTube or something, and I'm on the stairs and Madonna goes, something look into my eyes, and I turn my head with my hat. I go, yeah, that's my Denzel Washington acting.
Oh, and you do it well too. And I don't mean to embarrass you, but the
You're
dancing
not going to
you
embarrass
do,
me.
but the dancing you do is just like it looks so effortless, but it's so fucking amazing. You are
So many people say
absolutely
that.
you are the elite dancer in that moment. You do not get better than that. You don't.
Really?
No. It's amazing. Like the
That's
way
amazing that you're saying that. People say that to me, and I'm like, I'm just dancing. It's like, I can't believe people say that. You're
you know
saying that
why,
right
Oliver?
now.
There's so much about what leads me to that conclusion. It's not just what you're doing. It's the power of going from that opener to just you and
Us
Madonna on
too.
the
Us
stage.
too.
And you're like, for two people to be able to hold a stage in an arena like that, and you do,
Wow.
and captivate the whole room. Fuck.
Wow. Thank you. Oh, yeah. See, once again, the stuff that you're saying to me, you make me feel. I want to go back and watch it.
Oh, I do too. And you, what you don't want to watch is me trying to do your moves.
I know a lot of people say that to me. Go, Oliver. I try to do the jump off the stairs, and I'm like, I can't do that no more. So you're going to try to do that. But yeah, it's wow. Thank you.
No, thank you. I watch you and Madonna, and dancing. It's such an intimate and beautiful act for two people to do. It just is. No matter what the format, no matter what style of dance, it's
Yeah.
so intimate. It is so relational. Can you?
And it wasn't, and the good thing, it wasn't the good thing about that number, it wasn't sexual. It was just
Oh.
like it was her story of open your heart.
And I always imagined, again, interpretation, which is what I love about Blonde Ambition. My interpretation was that you were her figment of her imagination. What you were
Yes.
the ideal, you were the fantasy.
Yeah.
But give us a sense about what it's like dancing literally one-on-one with Madonna. And like I'm talking things that are normal to you as a dancer, Oliver, but aren't normal to the rest of us. Holding a woman like that. Like really the strength and the power and the trust that you have to have. Like tell us about it. What was it like dancing with Madonna?
Yeah, you're right. She had to trust me on certain things with the chair and just me, because I had to step up my game, meaning my performance, to hers, because she's been doing this for a very long time, and the world is watching her. So so I had to, of course, I had to equal that. I had to not equal it, but be that guy and do it strong every single night. And there were times that when we performed, nobody knew. She could be mad at me. Like something could have happened off stage, or I don't know. I could have did something wrong. She could, or I could be mad at her. But it looked like we were just involved in that one number and happy and having fun and letting the audience feel what we were feeling. And
But you could see the dagger eyes every now and then.
oh, dude, oh my God, there's times, because we're right close to one another with the chair, and like when I go around her, everybody else is seeing her with a smile, but I'm seeing her eyes looking at me, like probably saying, "You mother."
Oh,
But
wow.
majority of the time, I say 90% of that tour, when I had to do that number, it was all like good energy, and that's the one thing. That's the one thing she gave me. Like when they gave me the opportunity to do the solo, I never stepped back or questioned or said, I can't do that, or I don't want to do that. I actually got pumped up. I was like, oh, okay, I'm down, until they brought out that shirt.
And then you went, I'm leaving. That's it.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't do this. I'm like, this doesn't go with my choreography. I'm like,
that's hilarious.
No,
Tell
I'm
me,
joking.
in your opinion, Oliver, how talented was she as a dancer?
I think Madonna, she's a good dancer. God, yeah.
Well, come on. Let's think of it different. Let me frame this differently for you. You're a dance teacher. You're actually an expert in your field. You really are. And Madonna's a pop star, and by her own acknowledgement, she doesn't believe she's the best dancer, the best singer. She said that in the documentary, I think. So give me your professional opinion. Forget it's Madonna. What is she like as a dancer?
As far as hip hop, she's okay. Anything else, she got it.
Right.
And the funny thing is, she took dance class. She took actually a few hip hop classes for me during our rehearsal before the Blond Ambition tour. She actually came to the studio where I was teaching.
Okay.
Yes, and not only she was there, for some reason at the same time, God, Tyra Banks. Tyra Banks was there. Tyra Banks actually took my class with her.
By coincidence? They were friends.
It was just coincidence that she just so happened to come and take my class.
Okay, hang on. You've just got to pause for a moment. Okay. Oliver's class is running. He's running a hip hop class. Madonna comes along to take some lessons.
I knew she was coming. I knew Madonna was coming.
You knew she was coming, but Tyra Banks walks in as well. The same class. Okay. Oh, yeah. How does this go down?
Oh my God, it was fun. I don't remember the routine I taught, but it was fun. and everybody was tripping. I mean, everybody, of course, was tripping because Madonna came, and they knew that she was coming because I told her I wanted her to come and take my class. But then when Tyra Banks came in, it was like, wow.
Were they competing with each other?
No, they weren't competing. No, they just took the class.
Madonna likes to be the best, doesn't she?
Okay, wow.
Well, she does. She's not going to let anyone better her. But you're saying with the hip hop, she found that one a little bit tricky, did she?
Well, I mean, her hip hop it's okay.
Okay.
I mean, still to this day, I mean, you can see, I mean, throughout the tours, you know, she can do it, but it's not her forte. She's better off with the jazz and like lyrical and that type.
And how did you rate her as a singer?
Oh, I love her singing. A lot of people don't know. When we was on tour, she was singing. There might have been some tracks, but her ass was singing. So when people say that she can't sing, she doesn't sound like her album, they're wrong. Got to give that to her. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, and it puts you in a trance, too. Because let me tell you, when I'm backstage and they're performing Papa Don't Preach and Like a Prayer, I mean, not Like a Prayer because I was on stage for that, but there was Papa Don't Preach and a story. What is it called?
Live to Tell.
Live to Tell. I'm in the back I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm already dressed and getting ready for, I think it might have been Dick Tracy, but we have time to sit and wait. But you go into a trance because the song is so beautiful. When she's singing it, you can tell in her voice that when she's singing it, it's very emotional. And it hits home, like, especially with Papa Don't Preach and Live to Tell. I mean, it was really, really, really good.
Oh, Jesus, I tell you, for the people backstage to be mesmerized, that is powerful. And I'm not surprised because that segment of the show is just everything.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's not like the concert went, okay, one point is good. Oh my God, here's a downer. It's something boring. Like there was not one boring thing on that tour.
A lot of people, the only part that sometimes I hear criticized is the part that I love because she finally gets to one point and doesn't take the show too seriously. She adds a bit of comedy in there, which is Material Girl.
Material. Oh, yeah.
It's very brief, but and the fans are a little bit divided over that one. They say, it was such
talking about the condoms and you got to wear
Jimmy.
Yeah.
All of that. But still, I think she needed to. Otherwise, it would have taken itself too seriously, the show.
Yeah.
So,
I thought it was good that she put that in there. It makes sense. I mean, what she was doing, what people don't, I don't think they got it, but they didn't. She was practicing safe sex. She's telling people, because back then it was really big. AIDS was what? Yeah. AIDS was just going, dude. And so what she was doing was telling everybody to protect yourself.
Shifting gear a little bit, Oliver. I'm curious about this.
You're always shifting gears.
It's what I do. Listen, there was this fascinating article, right? It was written in 2016 by a journalist by the name of Kirsten Fleming. And she gave this fairly, I don't know, critical critique of Madonna's treatment of her staff and dancers. I just want to read you a little bit and get your take, okay?
Oh, have I heard this?
Let's see. She says, this I'm quoting from her now, sources tell the Post that this is the Madonna way. When it comes to her hiring her support staff, the insider says she seems to make a beeline for a certain type of person, young, naive, people with emotional baggage. It's as though she can spot a troubled background a mile off. She will give these dancers, stage crew, nannies and assistants what she considers to be a great life, but it is always on Madonna's terms. If there's a difference of opinion, or if she feels that they no longer appreciate her, she can turn nasty. If she doesn't fire them, she's been known to freeze them out. The glacial stares can be very hard for her staff to tolerate. What's your take on that?
Oh God. Wow, I've never heard that, but I mean I've heard stuff about how what she said in Truth or Dare about us, like she's our mother and she has to take care of us, this and that.
In your experience, was she selecting out people who were vulnerable and naive and emotional baggage?
No, because I don't think none of us was vulnerable or naive.
Mm.
I don't think so.
Mm.
I mean, we were all young. Yeah, I don't know how to respond to
Well,
that, but
let's break it
um,
down a little bit. Let's break it down a bit. Was your
yeah, there you
experience that
go.
she treated you really well, but she could freeze you out? Was that your experience?
Not really, not really,
Mm.
because we all did stuff together.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, of course, she had days where she went, like for instance, she went out with Louis and Jose. They went on a shopping spree. Nobody knew about that
Mm.
because we were all out doing this and that. But there was never a point where one of us heard, "Oh, Madonna's mad. She doesn't want to talk to you. This and that." So when we go before we go on stage, don't look at her, don't talk to her. There was none of those kind of things because
Mm.
every night before we went on stage, we always did our prayers. We gave a hug and this and that. There was no kind of friction or anything. There was nothing of that sense of or blocking us out or thinking that we're crippled.
You said she takes her work seriously, and you said there were some times where you knew she was mad at you. What sort of things would make her a bit cross with you, Oliver?
Oh no, that's that. I won't get it.
Oh,
I'm not touching. Nope,
nope.
nope. Just
So
it,
suffice to say, it wasn't the fact that you missed a dance step, for example.
oh no, it wasn't because of that. No,
Mm.
I,
Okay.
I was 19.
Mm-hmm.
Does that answer it?
What did you think of Warren Beatty?
I see. I'm glad you changed. Oh, what I think? Okay. Do we want to hear this?
I do.
Okay. Warren Beatty just didn't like me because of the fact that one day I showed up to Madonna's house and he was there. And when she went to go open up the door, he was right there. And of course, I know who Warren Beatty is. I know all his movies and this and that. And when I saw him, I treated him like a typical person as when you first meet. I go, "What's up?" And
So you didn't bow.
oh hell no! What?
Okay.
No, why? Because he's him? No, no. The only person I'll bow down is to MJ. Okay, how about that?
Yeah, I like that. I like
Yeah, MJ gets the bow. Okay,
Yeah, yeah. That
and we're
makes
talking
sense.
about both MJs, Michael Jordan and Michael Jackson. Okay, so but no, we never. Well, the thing is, I mean, here you go. Before the tour even started, the guys went to a party for Elizabeth Taylor or something like that, and of course Warren Beatty was there. I didn't get to go to that, and the reason why I didn't get to go to that because of Warren Beatty.
Why didn't Warren Beatty like you?
I don't know. You tell me.
Oh, Oliver, you're such a tease. Okay, let
Go
me
back,
let me let,
let everybody that's listening to the podcast, and that's including you. I mean, because you're the interviewer. Um, you just go back and watch Truth or Dare, and then you'll find out. So,
There's a moment in Truth or Dare
oh
where
God,
Madonna comes to you, right? And
uh,
she wants to talk to you about a magazine article, and
that's
it,
I
it,
knew
it,
it.
it
Oh,
it's a
God,
front cover story, and it
yeah,
suggests
Star Magazine. Yeah,
that
yeah.
Madonna's dating you. That's what it says. She says in the article suggests that she's very, very fond of you. She's attracted to you physically. And
Mm-hmm.
it says that she dumped Warren Beatty in favor of you. And in the documentary, Madonna
Uh,
she's checking in on you. It's a caring moment. She's actually checking in on you, essentially to make sure that you're not too upset. She seems to imply that you went missing at one point. And she's also concerned that
yeah.
the other
Wait,
dancers.
wait.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
see, you're
yeah.
thinking. You're thinking that I went miss because you just said it. You said a keyword, a key point. You said I
Yeah,
went missing. Didn't have
yeah.
nothing to do with that article. That had to do with the guys, like vultures to me. We're talking about Jose, Lewis, Slam, and Carlton was part of this too. Like they were being mean to me for no reason that day. And this was in New York. I was across the street from Madison Square Garden at a KFC kicking it. It didn't have nothing to do with that article. So I'm going to just clear that up right there.
You were eating KFC while you were doing that elite dancing?
Yeah.
Oh, stop it. This is the biggest revelation of the whole podcast. You were doing the chicken burger and open your heart at the same time. It's not possible.
No, it was actually a 5-piece meal with coleslaw.
Secret herbs and spices. They did things to your feet, man.
So, no, I wasn't missing because of that article. I wasn't gone away. I wasn't, and the way
Was
they
there a
made it seem-
ringleader in that group? Was there a ringleader?
as far as the boys,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it could be Lewis and Jose as a ringleader. Carlton was like a dad, dude, to all of us because he was older. I mean, and when you look at him, he looks like a dad. He's just big. He's just big. He's just big and dark with all that crazy hair that he had, and So, but as far as a leader, yeah, I'll say sometimes it was, Jose and Lewis could be.
And with time passing by, it's easy to look back and look at it differently and more intellectually, I suppose. But at the time, it must have been nasty for you.
It was nasty sometimes. I mean, it really was. But we're talking like a few months into the tour. Of course, it was nasty, and of course, there's going to be some jealousy here and there. It seemed like favoritism, I mean, but it's not like I did it. I'm not the one that did it.
Did what?
I'm not the one that, said, "Oh, Madonna, treat me better than the guys," or, I never said that, or I never, so.
It's really easy to dismiss magazine articles and as tabloid rubbish and all of that. But I've got to say, Oliver, that there's always a source to those stories. Who do you think gave the information to that magazine?
I do. Oh my God, that's a good one. I do not know. I don't have no idea.
Someone did.
Yeah, obviously. Obviously, someone did.
Have you never asked this question of the guys?
You know what? Now that you asked that, I'm going to have to ask them that. I'm going to have to ask the guys that. Seriously, who? First of all, they got the names wrong. They called me Slam.
Yeah.
Okay. And they said I was 22. Okay. They got all that wrong.
Yeah.
But inside the article, of course, it said my name. But yeah, who did? Who's the one that? Who did that?
Someone made money out of that.
Yeah, someone made money. Shit, now think about it. Wow, you're
Here's
right.
a different way of looking at it. Did and Kevin won't mind me saying this, did Kevin show up the next day wearing something very expensive, for example?
Wow. No, you didn't just say that.
He wouldn't mind me saying it.
Oh my God. No, come on. Kevin is my brother.
Did he say, "Feel my fur"?
Oh my God, you're so wrong. You're so wrong. No, Kevin did not do any. He didn't do any of that sort. Come on now, that is wrong. But that's a good one. That was a good one. But yeah, I wonder who went and took that to the Star magazine. Who did that? You're right. I still have it. I still have the newspaper, the actual.
Do you really?
Oh yeah. I still have my rosary, and I'm the only one that still have my rosary.
Listen, going to that article, Madonna is famously attracted to really hardworking people. She loves talented, ambitious people. She loves men who are fit and what I call industrious, people who are doers, because she's such a doer herself. Oliver, you actually fit that bill.
I guess so. Looking at the guy that she's with right now, because you gotta think. I mean, the only difference is that he's a little bit taller than me. Think about it. Think about it. She and what is he 20? What is he 22, 23?
In his 20s, yeah.
Yeah, and I was 19. I was 19, and if you think about it, I'm the first one.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah,
The fan community for however long it's been, 2 decades, 2.5 decades, have always said that there is so much, unspoken evidence, I suppose, that you and Madonna absolutely did have a brief and very intimate and beautiful affair during that tour. Can you confirm?
oh God, why are you doing this, dude?
The fans already know.
They do. Yeah, they do know. So if they know, then so if they know, then I don't have to say anything. You can hear it in my voice.
Is
So
so I'm curious. The reason not to go into the detail, is it a beautiful loyalty to Madonna?
well, I don't think I'm not going to get in trouble for saying anything. No, dude, it's 20 something years later.
It's your
I mean,
story, though. That's the thing.
yeah,
And what I find is not just you. I put Oliver over to the left side just for a moment. When I talk to people who have worked with Madonna, there's
yeah,
this underlying current where they only go to a certain point and don't say anything else. And I respect that totally. I
yeah.
really do. However, it often comes at the expense of their own story. When you think of her brother, for example,
Oh
he
yeah,
decided to cross that
Chris.
line because his story is her story and her story is his story, and he needed to tell his story. And with
Yeah,
you, I'm listening to you, and one of the most significant relationships you've had in your life, you've never spoken about publicly.
no. Well, I mean, just like didn't know talk about the lawsuits and all that stuff. I don't know, dude.
She's a beautiful woman, though, isn't she?
Oh, she's very smart, beautiful, and you know, you got to give it to her. She changed it. She changed the game when it comes down to her look, her style. There's so many people that want to be her. You know,
A lot
I,
of people a lot of people about Madonna say that she's unable to make a connection, a real connection with other people. Did you make a real connection with Madonna?
yes, I did. I did.
How do you
I
know
can
it was real?
because I know. Well, hello. How do I know? Doing Open Your Heart, and when I'm performing, her ass could be mad at me.
Hmm. Hmm.
Doing Vogue, when she had the oh my God, you know how she does the thing where she puts her hand under and she gives me the elbow.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Oh my God, there were so many times where she would like really hit me in my chin, and I'll do the wave going down. Oh yeah, she'd give me that look. Oh yeah. So that's how I know. That's how I know it's a connection. We had a connection.
Because only a real relationship can have,
Oh,
really
security.
high times, really angry times, all the
Oh,
emotions, right?
oh yeah, sure. You know what? You're good.
Do you miss her?
As a person, yes. As a friend, yes, yes. I would love to see her and say hi and tell her I'm proud of her of all of what she's done after the Blond Ambition tour, and you know, proud of her with especially with the kids, adopting the kids. That's one thing I'm
Oh,
very proud of her about. I mean, I think that's
why
the
don't people
dopest.
give her credit for this? Why does she get criticized for doing the most incredible thing a human being can do to give
What?
those kids a life? And her
Oh my
connection with
God,
them
it's the
is
dopest.
unbelievable.
Oh my God, I think it's so dope that
Mm,
she adopted those kids. That
mm.
has to be the dopest thing. I think that's the dopest thing that she's ever done in her entire life. For her
100%.
to do that, I give her so much props. I mean, and I'm sure if I saw the kids, I would be like, oh, I'd probably start crying. I would be like, dude, you have Madonna as your mother,
Mhm.
and she cares for you like you're her own blood. I mean, come on now.
Hey, Oliver, they'd adore you.
oh,
They really would. You're such a nice guy. You're such a nice guy.
yeah, I was conceited back in the day. Back
No.
in the '90s, I had a big head, but deep down, I'm very humble and very grateful, and I would never ever take anything back for my life of what I've been through and what I've gone through and my ups and downs. It's all good. You live and you learn, and I'm happy with my wife Jeanette. I am blessed. I really am, and I might want you to surprise you with something of what I'm about to say. I said I was homophobic before I started the tour and this and that, right?
Yeah.
Are you ready for this? I think the podcast audience is going to love this.
Go for it.
I met my wife in 1999, and you want to know how I met her?
My mind is thinking all kinds of things now, but
You're
no,
not going to
please.
believe this. You're not going to believe this. I met her at an AIDS benefit that they do in Vegas every single year.
My
Yeah, how
God.
about that shit? How about that?
The universe is awesome.
Exactly. Okay, wait. Not finished. Wait. Not only that happened, that's how I met her, but the performance that we had to do, tell me if this is not crazy. We had to do Remember the Time, and I was in Remember the Time.
Wow.
I knew you was gonna like that story.
Wow.
I knew you would like that. I met her. I met her at AIDS benefit. I mean, um, doing a show for AIDS. Not only that, we also did the Remember the Time video choreography.
That is
Go
so awesome.
figure.
I love it. And for those people listening who don't know, our man here, Oliver, was in Remember the Time with Michael Jackson. Incredible.
They don't know that, huh?
Yeah.
I also danced for Johnny Gill from New Edition.
Mm.
I was on a triple threat tour. It was Keith Sweat, Belle Biv DeVoe, and Johnny Gill. I danced for him back in '92. This is what I mean by I'm so blessed. I got to dance with one of the members of New Edition. Not only that, I got to meet my Bobby Brown, my Ralph Tresvant, and my Belle Biv DeVoe. And I mean, come on, you can't beat that. And I got to dance for my idol, which is Michael Jackson. Come on.
The Time to Talk Show is a podcast made by passionate amateurs who simply love pop culture. Unlike other podcasts, we can't raise revenue through traditional advertising, so we rely on the support of our listeners to keep us going. If you'd like to make a donation to Time to Talk, click on the link in the description. Your support will help with our production costs and allow us to keep bringing you content that celebrates, honours and skewers the very best and worst in the world of popular music, film, trends and culture. Thank you for enjoying our shows. We absolutely love our growing legion of loyal listeners. At the beginning of this podcast, I've put my hand up and said I will not. You specifically said you don't want to talk about lawsuits, anything like that. I totally respect that, and I'm going to respect that entirely. I am just curious about why you don't talk about that part of your story.
Because to me it's not important, but it is, and people. If I do go to talk about it, people are gonna have their different opinions, this and that. There's still people out there that's mad at me, Kevin, and Gabriel. Gabriel, rest in peace, for us doing what we did, but they weren't there. I just don't want to say the wrong things. And when it is time to talk about it, I'd rather have Kevin by my side to talk about it. If Gabriel was alive, I would have him by my side to talk about it. Like us three can talk about it together. But I just don't like talking about it by myself. I'll tell you this: I think we all deserve to have gotten paid for the movie. It's still making money. It's still making money to this day. We should have gotten paid for Truth or Dare. All of us. And I'll leave it at that.
I'm trying to be really respectful here and honor what I've said. So this is related, but tell me if you don't want to go down this track. But dancers' rights, okay, they've long been trodden on. dancers have often been mistreated in terms of their professional,
yes.
remuneration,
Yeah.
reputation, their treatment. Was
Yeah.
your legal action important as an example of standing up for dancers' rights?
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Hmm.
And at the time, I wasn't even thinking about standing up for the rest of the dancers world. I was not even. I was thinking about myself and
Yep.
Kevin and Gabriel. And like I said, I mean, there's people that hate us, for doing what we did. I mean, it got to the point where we're talking in 2017. I had to do this podcast um, for this one guy. I forgot what city it was in, but the people were. It was live, so I got to talk to people also as I was doing it, and
Oh, yeah.
there was a whole bunch of guys, and it wasn't girls. It was all guys.
Uh-huh.
Fucking sorry for cursing, but fucking like cursing me out and
Oh.
saying this and that, and then fucking sending like I don't know how they got my phone number, but they were sending like dick pictures and all this kind of stuff. This is in 2017.
Hang on. So, because of the fan community's rage about your decision around
Uh-huh.
legal action, you're saying still as recently as 2017, you're copping abuse for that?
Oh my God, dude! Dude, it got to the point. My wife is asleep right now. She's laying down, but
Uh-huh.
we were tripping. I would get texts like on Instagram and text messages and Facebook. And my thing is, I'm looking at it this way. I couldn't believe Instagram and Facebook will let people put pictures up. I mean, guys were sending pictures saying, suck my this and oh my God, it was bad. Oh, it was bad. And it was to the point, because I'm a grown ass man now. I was like, I bet your ass wouldn't do that in front of me if you saw me, because I would straight up fucking whip your ass. And it was to that point, I was so mad and
Yeah.
felt so disrespected because I didn't do anything wrong to you.
Mm.
I didn't do anything wrong to the public. And the funny thing is, I never talked to anybody about this. So this is the first time anybody's hearing this. So you're the
Yep.
first person. You're the first person to ever hear this, and it was. Oh my God, it was wrong. Oh my God, the stuff that they sent me, dude, it was so foul. I
Mm.
mean, oh my God, you,
Mm.
you don't have no idea how I felt. And
Do you know what's
but
frustrating about that? They don't get the detail about why you did it. They don't
yeah,
understand,
yeah,
right? Because I've
exactly.
heard about the
They're
contract.
just
I've heard
they're just
about the.
Madonna. Sorry to cut you off. They're Madonna hardcore fans, and
Mm.
they don't give a crap. And I
Mm.
understand that's their girl. They love her. They'll do
Mm.
anything for her. I mean, look at the beehives for Beyonce. They'll do anything. They don't care if you're a celebrity or not. They will strike your ass down, and I understand that. But you got to learn how to. At one point, you got to say, "Hey, you got to stop. You got to stop at some point and say, maybe this is not cool to write or say to a person or send these pictures and this and that." And it happened.
So now I totally understand why you're really cautious about. I don't want to talk. I thought you were just being a bit bloody minded, but actually, there's a really good reason.
Oh yeah, dude, because you never know. Your
Mm.
people that's listening to this podcast, they could easily. I'm sure somebody's going to say something negative. I'm sure.
Mm.
I'm already waiting for it.
Just to put it in perspective for you, because I get the same. I get like horrendous stuff sent based on the podcast, but it sort of goes with the territory. But can I
Yeah, it
say to you,
does.
Oliver, and I mean this truly and authentically, that
Yeah.
the vast majority of Madonna fans just see you as like a beautiful shining part
Oh,
of
I
her
know.
history. They do.
Yes,
They love you.
and if you see me right now, my hands are in the
Mm.
prayer approach, and I'm saying thank you to everyone. And trust me, I
Mm.
know they all these people grew up with me. They're my age now, and they knew how I was back in the day. And
Mm.
for the LGBTQ community to give me the to let me back into their world. Um, it's a beautiful thing. I mean, I'm sure you saw it. I posted on Facebook. It was just I'm looking at it right now. The Alliance Award. Did you see it?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I mean, for me to get that award, you
Who would have
know,
thought?
I mean, come on. I'm looking at it right now.
Mm.
It said this
Do you
Thursday,
know what's
June.
so beautiful about that is you're so proud of it.
Oh yeah, because my ass was ignorant back when I was young.
Yeah.
I was ignorant. I was young, and to all those people out there that's still homophobic, y'all need to get over yourselves and do some fucking history. And sorry for
Mm.
cursing, but look into you know the community. Check things out. Don't judge a book by its cover. Don't be rude to people for no reason. The same way with the Asians and this Black Lives Matters thing. People need to all come together. We already all of us have dealt with something at the same time, and everybody was equal. And I'm talking about what happened last year with the COVID.
Yeah.
Everybody got affected by it. Not infected, but affected.
We were, it was an amazing leveler, and at the end of the day, we're all just human species on this rock, and we're so fragile. We talked earlier about Madonna can have a tendency to freeze people out. That's what that article suggested that I asked you to comment on.
Yeah.
Since the lawsuit, have you ever communicated with Madonna since?
No. But see, that's the thing. I mean, you're asking this question, but I'm sure you remember in Strike a Pose, we did talk about that. We all would love to talk to her. And to bring up the thing about you saying about how she cuts people out. Now that I remember, I mean, and you should remember because I'm sure you did your homework. At one point, didn't Lewis say Madonna cut him out of her life?
Yes. Well,
Didn't
the pattern that I saw, talking about doing my homework, and I could have reached the wrong conclusion, but the pattern I saw is that with Carlton, for example, he hit a really hard time later in his life, and Madonna housed him for a period of time. So she remained loyal. Loyalty is very big in Madonna's value system. And
yeah,
it seems to me like the guys that participated, yourself included, in the lawsuit have hurt her deeply, whether you were wrong or right? That's not the
yeah,
point. But
no,
it feels
yeah,
like she is wounded and may never recover from that, similar to her brother's book.
yeah. Well, one day, I hopefully, if she is still mad, she needs to get over it, and we should talk. We
Mm.
should say hi. I look at it this way: no matter how loyal her fans are to her, and some of them might dislike what me, Kevin, and Gabriel did, um, they still to this day would love to see all of us together.
Absolutely.
They, no matter what, dude.
Doing Express
They,
Yourself.
oh my God! Because look, for instance, I'm gonna give you a good example. Janet Jackson brought
Yes.
this. You saw that, right? She
Yeah.
brought back all her dancers
Yeah.
to do not just Rhythm Nation, because some of the people that was on tour was on the Velvet Rope tour, so they didn't do the original Rhythm Nation, but they all did a couple of her numbers together. She brought them back. Could you imagine if Madonna? Oh my God! If
I think, yeah, there'd be tears.
Oh my God, it would be beautiful. It would
Yeah.
be it'd be the dopest thing ever. I
Mm.
mean, even when we did um when we was doing a promotion for Strike a Pose, we were in Amsterdam. We had to go on this talk show. I don't know if you saw it, but we performed Vogue live.
I
Did you see
saw it.
that? Yes.
Loved it.
And
Loved it.
everybody was asking. I mean, everybody was saying, "Oh, this would have been beautiful if Madonna would have been here." And we was like, "Yeah."
You've told me what you'd say to her. If you happen to pass her at some event or something like that, what do you think she'd say to you?
I don't know. That's the thing. I mean, we heard from our director that she did see Strike a Pose and
Wow.
that she actually liked it.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
nice.
that was nice to hear. But I don't know what she would say to me.
Do you know what, as a
I,
mother, And as somebody who's come as far and learnt so much wisdom as she has, I'm sure she'd just embrace you, Oliver.
I would hope so. And like I said, hopefully she would have had time to have thought about why we did what we did. And it's not like we did it and we lied about something, because we didn't. And I'm not going to talk no more about it, but it's not like we lied. We told the truth.
Mm.
And like I said, still to this day, I'm gonna keep my grounds on that. We should be paid. We should still be getting paid for it.
You know, you've told me a lot today about what Madonna has put into your life. What did you put into her life?
Oh God, that's a hard one. Um, um, I I don't know if I contributed anything. I mean, maybe I did. Maybe you might see it a different way. Um, I don't know. My honesty, my loyalty, my I
Your
don't
youth,
know.
your naivety, your talent?
My talent. Yes, my talent. Okay, yeah. So I wasn't even thinking. See, my brain went somewhere else. Yes, of course, my talent.
Do you think it's interesting that it's really easy for you to answer what Madonna gave to you, but you find it difficult to answer in reverse?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. You're every bit as unique and special as her.
Wow. Security.
Security much?
That's my little saying. Like it's like whoa or what or
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So
Okay. I wouldn't be able to get away with this conversation without asking you, what you're up to these days as well. I mean, I've seen your wife and you together, I don't know where, on YouTube somewhere probably, and she seems adorable.
yeah, she's
So
Armenian too.
supportive. She just, yes, of each other. Actually, what I saw was this beautifully harmonious relationship where you both
Oh
know each
yeah.
other inside out.
We've been through a lot. I mean, of course, in Strike a Pose that we talked about the fact that I had 3 seizures. I went flatline on the bed back in 2003. I bit off half of my tongue. Um, 2 of my front teeth went forward. They had to wire it back. I had to learn how to speak again. If she wasn't there, I probably would have died. Thank the Lord she got to bring me to the hospital at the time. And then in 2006, I had Bell's palsy. I mean, and the reason why I had these seizures is because she gave me an ultimatum. She told me, if you don't stop drinking, I'm going to leave you. And I just so happened to stop. And I went cold turkey. And of course, I would not be naive, but I never knew what cold turkey meant. I never knew the complications you can get if you stop drinking. I never knew anything about that. And all of a sudden, I stopped drinking. And what happened was I was taking these pills that were ephedra. Um, and there was these energy pills that back at this time a lot of baseball players was taking them to give them energy. Well, the pills collided with me stop drinking, and that's why I had the seizures. She's been there for me through my ups and downs. I mean, at one point I lost my house and this and that, and you know, and moving fast forwarding, back in 2010, we got tired of teaching for other studios, and her teaching voice and piano and me teaching hip hop. So back in 2010, she came up with the studio called Musicology Academy, and we've been doing that ever since. Even though the pandemic had happened last year, it hit us very hard, and we lost a lot of kids. But we're trying to move forward. I mean, I'm still at the restaurant where I'm serving.
So you do a few things. You're doing your hip hop dancing and your schooling, I suppose, of young kids. You're also a server at a place. You've got this beautiful relationship with your wife. Do you have children of your own?
Nope. We teach them. And I'm gonna make a joke about that. Those if we had kids, especially if I had a daughter, I know I would be very, very protective of her, and I probably would have whooped somebody's ass, and I'd probably be in jail.
You wouldn't let any of the boys near her.
Oh no, at all.
Oh dear.
But yeah, we teach them. So
And life is good. Life is good.
it's okay. I mean, back in July 24th, I had caught the COVID, and it was really, 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 really bad because of my asthma.
Wow.
It lasted 5 weeks, and it was hard. It was very hard. Sorry, when I get hyped up, I start to cough. I think it's my nervousness
No, you're fine.
when I talk. But yeah, I gotta lose about 20 more pounds, and I'll be good.
When you look back at that young, incredibly fit, blonde-haired dude dancing around, not just in Blonde Ambition, just all around that time, you were fit physically, unbelievably at your peak, right? What do you think about that guy?
From what everybody has told me, he was a special guy, or he is a special guy.
Yeah.
And that I moved a lot of people. That I guess my dancing, told a story to them, and I'm proud of that guy. I'm very proud of him. I'm proud of him today. The only thing that's wrong with me right now is my knees. I mean, I still can dance, but I can't do everything I want to do. I want to, I've been, you don't know this, but I've been going to acupuncture almost every week. I just started it about a month ago, and it's working, but it's not working. And I want to get my knees fixed. If I get that fixed, I'll be the most happiest camper in this world, and people will probably see me dancing a lot on Instagram and Facebook, and I'll be posting all kinds of crazy stuff because I know what I can do. Yeah. I know my body can still do stuff. I might not be able to go in and stand straight up and go into a straight split, but as far as my dancing, on top, oh yeah, I'm there.
Well, Oliver, what an extraordinary life, right? Working with Madonna, Michael Jackson, meeting Prince, and all of the others. And I just got to say to you, and mean this very sincerely, thank you for all of your work. Thank you for all of the memories, and thank you for all of your talent and sharing that with so many people. And I'm so glad you're now at a stage of your life where you realize the gift that you have and what you give others, a lot of joy. And you're a beautiful soul. I can hear that through the line. Thank you for all of your time.
Thank you. That means so much, brother. That means a lot. That really does. And yeah. I mean, you said some stuff that really opened my eyes, and I feel good, and I feel blessed that I had an impact on you. And it's pretty cool.
You're awesome, man. Honestly.